Welcome back to Tennis Manager episode 55. We go straight from our first ever 900 tournament win into another 900 tournament. We were in Cincinnati this time, and fairly tough draw. Not the toughest draw possible. I'd say we're probably looking, because Corey Goff got a bye, the top 8 have a bye, and then 16 seeded, and it's all the top players, so we are number 11. Even though we are now 8th in the rankings, we've cracked the top 10, and I have a feeling we're not going to be looking back. I think we're going to stay in the top 10 probably from here on out as we continue to improve and make headway. But really tough draw, like not quite the hardest, right? 17 would have been the hardest, but doesn't get much harder for a first round matchup. And then Corey Goff would be awaiting us by the third round. And even, our second round matchup looks tough. So this is probably going to be a earlier exit than what we just experienced last time. But Krejcikova is somebody we have played before and beaten. It's going to be balanced, and actually we win it quite comfortably. The qualifier gives the upset, giving us an easier second round matchup, and it's Bartonkova or Goff that we would see in the round of 16. Despite the easier matchup, still only balanced. Nothing on the easy side, according to our scout, about plus 12 on winners and a comfortable win. So far in the quarters, it's all seeded players, and looking at our end of the bracket, guaranteed it's seeded players the rest of the way for us. So Goff now, Fruvertova, either one, Linda or Brenda, would be our opponents in the next round. So nothing easy, nothing given. Round of 16, I don't know if that's enough to stave off being a little bit upset over not making it to there. The game has experienced an update. The game, it's now, and it had to do with form. Training for form is now going to be more beneficial. It's easier to recover form, but a loss that you shouldn't have is going to be more devastating. So a little bit more wild swinging of form, but in general, easier to get. I think losing to Goff wouldn't hurt us that bad, but we're 3-1 all time against her, amazingly enough, and make that 4-1. We've beaten Goff here, and we are into the quarters, plus 14 on the winners, plus 11 points overall. So that was kind of the bulk of that. The unforced errors, -2. The forced errors was -2. So looking at the quarters and semis bracket, it's all seeded players. Sabalenka with the upset, Osaka beating Efremova for one semifinal, and we're looking at either Andreeva or Shang. We're the lowest seeded player remaining in the tournament. We've now done well, but it's going to take a Brenda Fruvertova victory, who we are 1-5 against all time, except for that win that we just pulled a week ago. Tough match, shouldn't be winning it. She'll probably bounce back and have an answer for us. We're going to quick sim this one, and she comfortably has an answer for us after we beat her last time out. But it's a quarterfinal defeat in a big tournament against one of the top players in the world. I'm perfectly fine with that being the circumstances. -14 on the winners, -6 on the unforced errors, though, 12 isn't that bad, and -3 on the forced errors. That quarterfinal appearance, even with our 13%, still gives us 28K, bringing our balance up to 462 in the middle of August. So we're heading into the U.S. Open. First off, Nava is now ticked off because he finally saw his rank climb to the top 100, and suddenly he wants to renegotiate. I didn't bother. He finally has one little bit of success in a couple years, and how is that earning a pay raise? You've been terrible for most of 2 years. Good for one little period, that doesn't automatically make... No. You got to be consistent, and then we can talk. Anyway, Cross, out in the first qualifying round for the U.S. Open, 10K. Noel, out in the second qualifying round, 8K. No sign of Nava's name, though, so we got to assume that Nava has made it into the tournament proper. Would qualify for the tournament proper if it were being hosted in the future, and we were signing up for it now, as he's cracked the top 100, but it was too late. He was already signed up for the qualifier. King, obviously, in the tournament proper, though. First round action has already seen an upset by the second-ranked player, getting knocked out pretty early in this one. We're all the way up to number 8 now, and so we've got a pretty advantageous position compared to what we would normally have. We're looking at a very favorable first couple of rounds, and Kruger is the first potential challenging opponent all the way into the round of 32. So this is uncharted territory for us, as we've had tough opponent after tough opponent in like every draw along the way. So I'm excited to see how much further that can help push us with a couple of easy rounds. Nikčević we've never played against, but it's going to be an easy match. Let's hope we actually do that. 6-1, 6-4 we do. Huge advantage in the winners. Nava out in the first round, so he did qualify for the tournament proper, but he has been knocked out in the first round. But that's still a better payday, better performance, some points. Yeah, 33,000 for that. Decent payout. Kruger still in, and Herrera is 60th overall. Should be a fairly easy, straightforward match for us. 5-0 all-time against Herrera, but only balanced, so it's possible she could get the upset. Not even close, though. 6-1, 6-love. Absolute domination. 74% of the points won. Only plus 12 on winners, though. How the heck did we pull? Forced errors. 0-22. Wow, that is controlling the match. Only one round of 16 matchup has been decided so far, but we're looking at mostly seeded players with Benchik and Oosterhout, two decent players that should never be this low in the rankings, getting in. And then otherwise, below us, there's plenty of unseeded players, lots of unseeded players that have gotten through, but we're not quite down in that end of the bracket, though, are we? I think we are not. We are number 8, 1-8. Right, so we're looking at a matchup, heading for a potential matchup with Swiatek. I wish we were in the bottom half of the bracket, though. What a difference that would make. 2-0 all-time against Kruger. Let's hope it's going to be enough for us, and it is 3 sets. First challenge, we've overcome it 4-6, 6-3, 6-2. 55% of the points won, plus 8 on the winners. Unforced errors plus 7 and forced errors plus 5. So just kind of a general advantage everywhere you look. Finally, some infrastructure upgrades. The track is now complete. Well, we've lucked out. Samsonova has been upset by Samson. Laura Samson, our opponent, 102 is her rank. That's a big chance to move on. And again, the bottom half of the bracket is loaded with unseeded players. Meaning whoever's going to end up facing them in the final could be facing a bigger challenge. But Swiatek, who's already into round of 8, is going to have more challenges. That quarterfinal is not going to be an easy one, as she's guaranteed a Badosa or Andreeva match. Vondrasova is who we are more likely to play, but it could be Benchik. And at this point, we should be heavy favorites to at least make that quarterfinal. 6-0 all-time against Samson. We've played her quite a few times. 6-4, 6-love. Comfortable. Plus 4 on winners, though, is not that comfortable. Minus 2 on the unforced errors, but the forced errors. Massive advantage again, plus 22. Finally, what we've been targeting all along seems to be coming together now for King, our play style, and we are forcing others into mistakes on a very regular basis. We're not necessarily hitting the winners, but they just can't get a clean hit on the ball. This has definitely been the tournament of luck so far. Swiatek knocked off by Andreeva, so potential semi easier now than before. Benchik knocks off Vondrasova, much easier quarterfinal than before, just as we had in the round of 16 and prior. And well, okay, Burrell is the only non-seeded player left down here, so it's looking a little bit tougher. But we've beaten Goff, we've beaten Klugman, and Emerson Jones has been a bit tough for us. But right now, this is looking like it could be. This is our first chance where things are looking pretty dang good on the chances of winning a slam. Benchik beat us the only time we've ever played, though. It's going to be a balanced match. She's good with her backhand, and she's beaten us here. 6-4, 3-6, 6-7 in a lengthy tiebreaker. Wow. I mean, that really can't get much closer. Identical on winners. Unforced errors was -5. Forced errors was -5, and that was the difference where we were -10 points overall. Each had one double fault. No aces. Yowzer. Benchik is going to fly up the rankings. It's still a good performance considering how far we got, but also disappointing. We should have won that match. And Benchik, though, should be way higher in the rankings, and I don't know why she can't find consistent form, but she's brought it on now when she's needed to. It's definitely not a matter of if, but when it comes for us winning a Grand Slam at this point, as King is showing that promise. She is closer. She's capable of beating the best players in the world. It's just how consistently, right? We've won that 1K tournament. We've won that next level. So this is that last one, and we've played the best in that next level. So it's there. It's there for the taking. It's just, are we good enough yet? On our day. Are we good enough? Should we ever be a favorite? Eventually, but not yet. And that's kind of where we're at in the scheme of things. We could surprise and win one. This was looking like the kind of tournament that was ripe for the taking. Too late now. We're out. Benchik has sensed that moment, and she'll continue on. But that's a nice 75K payout, putting us right back up to 515K after we just had our turn of the month. In fact, you can see we are just barely into the positive, even though it's only the 4th of September. So things are looking really good on that front as we head into the late stage of the season. It's already week 36. Academy's growing. We're getting better staff. The athletes have started to perform better. The update now makes it seem like we should be able to find form a little more regularly, but it also will probably be a little more fluid up and down. But we're having a good season, and that's nice to have. We have not had that really in the entirety of this series, so it's nice to have a nice season. King is getting better and closer, and I definitely think we're going to stay in that top 10. We're just not quite in that top 5 range. We're not quite in that favorite to win a tournament. Just, we're close. We're close. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.